Okay, we live in this world that's just obsessed with being seen, right? But some of the most powerful people out there, they operate in total silence. So what's really going on behind that digital curtain? Let's dive into the psychology of staying offline.
Come on, you know you've wondered about this. That person you follow, suddenly they just go dark, vanish, and you're left thinking, what's their deal? Are they hiding something? Or, and this is the interesting part, have they figured out something the rest of us haven't?
All right, this slide gets right to the heart of it. It's all about what we assume versus the hidden truth. Our brains immediately jump to conclusions, right? We think, oh, they must be insecure, or they've got serious FOMO, or maybe they're just antisocial. But the reality? It's almost always the complete opposite. These people are self-assured, they're busy mastering their lives, and they're totally at peace. So let's just bust this first big myth wide open. The myth of invisibility. The popular idea is that if you're quiet, you must be insecure. But what if that's completely backwards? What if it's not that they're afraid of being seen, but that they've just evolved beyond needing to be seen at all? Okay, reason number one, and this is the absolute anchor for everything else we're going to talk about. It's self-validation. Bottom line, they just don't need the applause. And this really gets to the core of it. For them, their personal growth is sacred. It's private. It's not some reality show being staged for an audience. Every win, every setback, every breakthrough, that's for them. It's not content to be curated for likes. Which brings us to this really key psychological term, internal validation. All it means is that your self-worth, your approval, it comes from inside you. You're not crowdsourcing it from the comment section. You know, they're playing a different game, using an internal scoreboard where they're the only one who gets to keep score. And this quote just nails it. They are not here for the applause. They are here for themselves. That validation comes from within, and that creates this powerful, quiet confidence that you can literally feel without them saying a single word. All right, that leads us perfectly into the second big reason, choosing peace over performance. And let's be clear, this isn't some passive retreat from the world. No way. It's a strategic, active decision to protect their energy like it's gold. I mean, our whole culture screams at us that exposure means connection. If you're not posting, you might as well be invisible. But these folks, they see right through that. They know that real, genuine connection doesn't happen in a public status update. It happens in the quiet moments. So they just intentionally opt out of the whole performance. And this quote, this one is huge. They protect their peace the way some people protect their image. Just think about that for a second. Think of all the energy, the time, the stress people pour into crafting that perfect online persona. Now, what if you took all of that and aimed it at protecting your own inner peace? For them, that peace is the most valuable thing they have. And here is where the whole script flips. Being unseen isn't a weakness, it's a superpower. It means you're not just accessible to anyone and everyone. You are the bouncer at the velvet rope of your own life. You control who gets access to your time and your energy. So what are they doing with all this saved energy? That brings us to reason number 3. They're mastering things in the margins. Never, ever mistake their silence for inactivity. They are busy building. This slide says it all. While some people are busy posting about their life, these people are busy living it. There's a huge difference between documenting the journey and actually taking the steps. They're not hiding from the world. They're just too focused on the real work to stop for a selfie. And it's not an accident. It's a system. A simple one, really. Step 1, you cut down on the online updates. Step 2, you ramp up the real-world action. What does that get you? Step 3, undivided attention. And that's the secret sauce, the final step that leads to genuine mastery. Look, this is just a fundamental truth. Mastery in anything at all, requires undivided attention. You can't build an empire. You can't create art. You can't master a skill if you're stopping every 5 minutes to post a progress report. Their focus is a laser beam, not a disco ball, and that's why they get so much done. And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. Reason number 4, the power of privacy. People call them lone wolves, and you know what? They're right. But it's a choice, not a curse. But we have to be super clear about something. This isn't being antisocial. It's being energetically discerning. It's knowing that your energy is finite, and giving everyone a piece of it is just, well, it's exhausting and unproductive. So instead of running with the pack, they learn to move on their own terms. They move in silence. They don't just broadcast everything. They share selectively. And because of that, because they're so intentional, when they finally do speak or show up, their presence is way more potent. It actually means something. All right, so let's wrap this all up. What's the big takeaway? It's about redefining what power looks like in our digital age. It's about quiet strength. So let's just run through the 4 big ideas one more time. 1, true confidence doesn't need likes. 2, your mental peace is worth more than public attention. 3, real growth happens when you're focused, not when you're posting. And 4, the most powerful people move with intention and privacy. And if there's one thought I can leave you with, it's this. You do not need to be loud to be powerful. You do not need to be seen to be significant. The real work, the real growth, that almost always happens in the quiet, away from the spotlight. So, I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on. What are you building while you're not posting? If you took all that energy you put into curating your online self and just focused it, what could you create in that silence?